all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back in the Bossman Show, from the show, Coach Steve Forbes here with me. He's now with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, which means he'll be coming to Atlanta at least once a year to play Georgia Tech. So we're glad about that. Coach Forbes, man, what's up with you guys over there in Winston-Salem, man, and in Deacon Country?
Well, boss man, thanks for having me on. I know we tried to connect a couple times, and I messed up, and so I appreciate your patience. And we're hard at it over here. We're hard at it trying to finish out the roster for this coming year, and then obviously start recruiting the 21-22 classes the best we can. And so it's a different time during this pandemic, and all the events that's going on in the world right now. It's made it for an interesting move, to say the least.
Yeah, Coach, we last talked on March 12th, and I was in Nashville, and right before everything shut down, I was talking, even head to the arena and Bridgestone Arena, and all of a sudden, within that hour talking to you, it was all over, man. So, it was so weird. So from going from the air to from that, so how did you feel being still at ETSU when that all went down with your players and your staff, and how did you all handle that that all happened so fast in March there?
You're right, though. It happened so fast. Everything was changing minute by minute, and nobody really knew what to expect. And you and I had a conversation about, well, maybe, we may or may not play, and then bam, it was over. And, it just happened so fast and so abruptly that, we just the next day we said goodbye to each other, and everybody went home, and except for a couple guys, and so it was a hard way to end it. There was no finish to it. And so we went through the next month and finished recruiting and signed some really good players, and then the second weekend that Jordan was coming on, I was getting ready to watch that. And phone rang, and it was Wake Forest. And then that Thursday, I signed a contract to be the head coach. And again, I had to say goodbye to my team at East Tennessee State over the computer, on a Zoom call, and I hated that. That was just awful. I hated that I had to say goodbye that way. So it really is not the ending that you wanted. We didn't get to play in the tournament, and I didn't get to say goodbye to them face to face.
Exactly. And, Coach, what I would say about your time at ETSU was you was the winningest coach in Tennessee for those 5 years you was there. And I told you off the air in our own private conversation, I felt like you was going to get a job anyway. If it was no pandemic, someone's going to come get you anyway because of what you've done. I mean, the best record in Tennessee over the last 5 years, having 26 wins a year. You can't do that anywhere like that and not get a call-up sometime.
Well, I've had some opportunities, boss man, up into the Wake job. I just never felt like it was the right job or the right fit or the right time or, whatever the circumstances were. I knew that I had a really good job, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Greg Marshall taught me when I was at Wichita not to mess with happy. And, we were really happy in Johnson City. Great place to live, great program, great friends. And it wasn't like, I was looking to make a move, and I didn't expect to get a call from Wake Forest when I did. Like you said, the pandemic, there really wasn't, a lot of jobs open. And so when they did call me, it was a surprise.
Oh, yeah, and I can only imagine trying to interview for a job over Zoom. I guess it happened via Zoom, maybe, and then getting faxed the contract via DocuSign, probably.
Oh, listen. It's the only time in my life, boss man, that I'm going to interview with a suit on and bare feet because I didn't have any shoes on. I had to put my suit on 5 times to Zoom. One time with Chris Paul and Tim Duncan. And then, that Thursday I drove over to Winston-Salem and met with the president, Dr. Hatch, for an hour, and then went on campus and put my COVID mask on and signed my contract. And so it was the first time I'd ever stepped foot on Wake Forest in my entire life. I'd never been here. And it was a fast process. It was a very inclusive process, but it was a little strange, just, not having a lot of human interaction face to face.
No, definitely. And Joe Forest is a great job, a great community. With Salem, a very great community. I've been a few times for the tennis tournament they have out there right by the football field in late August there. So I've been out there for that. So far, how's the city been treating you with what you've seen so far? And the administration had to be real key for you to come take this job because, if you have a great president, a great AD, and a great support staff around all those people, to have a great team on the court as well.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Wake Forest was looking for a really good fit, and I was looking for a really good fit, and we found each other. And the community's been outstanding. The hard part's been not being able to get out in the community much because the state of North Carolina just opened up, I think, to phase 2 like a week and a half ago. And so up until this past week, I really haven't even been able to go to a restaurant or anything. Basically, what I've been doing is coming over from Johnson City on Monday and working all week in the office till Friday, and then going back to Johnson City on the weekends. Just because there's not a lot open right now, but they're starting to open back up, and the reception's been awesome. As far as the students and the fans and the community, we really just haven't been able to connect face to face, and hopefully soon we'll be able to do that as this thing starts to kind of hopefully subside and we can get back to a little bit, I guess, of a new normal.
And I know you, Coach, you love to get out in the community. You like to promote and get out there. So I know this has been hard for you not to be able to go see people, meet people, interact, because you need that to build a buzz on a program. And I know you're good about that. I heard about how you did up there in ETSU from Penny Collins, my guy. So I know how you roll, Coach. It was like, so I know you get out there. You just can't do it right now.
No, I'm a relationship guy, and I like being, meeting people and getting out. And I learned a lot of that from Bruce Pearl. When I was at Tennessee, Bruce he was great at that, getting out in the community and promoting the program, promoting the things that we were doing. And so I learned from that, and we did a lot of that at East Tennessee State. And I think that's one of the reasons why for the 5 years I was there, we led the league in attendance, and we've got to get our attendance back in the Joel here. And, we're going to get out there and work it. But, the best marketing tool of all is winning.
Yeah, they're right.
I mean, it ain't baby races and T-shirt contests, I can tell you that much. It's winning basketball games. And so, that's what we got to do, man. We got to start winning and give people hope, and get them excited again to come back and watch us play.
And, Coach, you know how to build a program from being with Bruce Pearl and Greg Marshall and building ETSU yourself. So how do you see yourself going about attacking and building this Demon Dickey program the way it used to be when Tim Duncan was around and Chris Paul was around? So getting them back 2020 and above, with getting these guys going and that black and gold there, man.
Well, Bossman, the very first thing I learned about recruiting is really good players make really good coaches.
You got that
so
right.
You got to get some players, and that's we got some really good guys and younger guys in the program. We got them coming back, and I kept Randolph Childress as an assistant, and that really helped that situation. And he was an All-American here and a great player. But we got to get really good. We got to get really good players so we can compete at the ACC level. And that's the key. And then we just run our own race. I don't think in a league like this, a Power 5 league, you can't worry about everybody else. You got to run your own race. And that's where I'm at with it right now. Is we just got to get better and get better and get better, and not compare ourselves to other teams in the league, but just set a standard and go for it. And that's where I'm at with it. And there's no reason that this program can't compete, and the ACC can't compete for championships. We have top 30, education in the country. We have the ACC, and we have, like everybody in our league, we've got really good facilities, great facilities. And in fact, the guy that built this fabulous practice facilities from Atlanta, Mitch Shaw. He lives down there, and he's a tremendous supporter of our program. And so we got all those things in line. We just got to get out there and work it.
It's so cool to know you're in the ACC now, probably the best basketball conference in America, and, unfortunately Tech is kind of middling, of course, but, a lot of great teams from the top of the East Coast down to Florida, Leonard Hamilton and Tallahassee. So how do you feel about it in this league, Coach, how the great coaches in this league, the great teams, man, and now you're a part of it, man. You're in the fire now.
Oh, let me tell you something. I'm from Lone Tree, Iowa. Okay, I graduated with 32 people. Do you really think when I turned on that first Zoom head coaches meeting about 4 weeks ago, and there was Coach K, Coach Williams, Leonard Hamilton, Jim Boeheim, Tony Bennett, Chris Mack, on and on and on and on, you think I was feeling real confident? No, I wasn't. That's why, it's a great feeling, though. I mean, you're in, like you said, historically, it's the best conference in the history of college basketball. And you got all kinds of Hall of Fame coaches. You got the best players. Why not? Why not want to be a part of something like that? We've had our own share of success, kind of like East Tennessee State. When I went there, they had a great run in the '90s with Mr. Jennings and Calvin Talford, and they won at Greg Dennis. They won 4 championships in a row. They won 1 or 2 in the early 2000s with Tim Smith. And they won a couple maybe in 2010, and then they kind of hit a tough spot. It's the same thing with this program. I mean, I could go down, the lineage of NBA players that have played here, and so we just got to give it. We just
John Collins with the Hawks right now.
Yeah,
John Collins with the Hawks.
I mean, there's all kinds of, just great. Tim Duncan, Chris Paul, Josh Howard, Rodney Rogers, Ish Smith, John Collins, Al Farouk Aminu, on and on, right? I mean, just, Jeff Teague. I mean, they've had great players. We just gotta get back to those kind of guys and have a chance to win.
Most definitely. And Coach, what's good about your transition is you were able to keep your staff with you as well, which is very rare in this business. Very able to keep most of your staff with you, except for Coach Shea, who stayed back to take over for you at ETSU. So how did it make you feel better to take your staff like B.J. Mackey with you, all your guys with you, who helped you build ETSU there?
Well, Bossman, you can't talk about family and not live it. And every time we do something and we break a huddle, it's family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family. Well, you can't talk about family and then not treat people like family, And I didn't win 130 games by myself at East Tennessee State. I had great assistant coaches and great people around me that had their fingerprints all over the program. And Coach Shea had a lot to do with that, and that's why he was rightfully so named the head coach at East Tennessee State after I left. And I took everybody else with me. I took everybody else. I took B.J. Mackey, Brooks Savage as full-time assistants. I took Frank Davis, another Georgia native from Gainesville. I brought him along with me as my Dobo. I brought Mike Starkey as my strength coach who was with me. I brought my son Christopher, who was going to be my video coordinator there at East Tennessee State after getting his master's, is now going to be mine here. I'm going to hire Joe Hughley, who played for me last year as a player relations coach. I'm going to hire one of my former players, Thomas Kavalauskas, who played for me at Texas A&M, who has been in Europe for the last 12 years, played in a couple Olympics for Lithuania. So I've always been about family. I've always been about loyalty. And I'm not going to change just because I got a high major job.
Most definitely. I could ever commend you for that, Coach. And speaking of that, Coach, you kind of mentioned a little bit, how you feel that you have a little bit of a tree now? You have Coach Shea at ETSU and my man Penny at Tennessee State. So who'd you think a guy from Iowa would have a coaching tree the way you do now?
Hey, I'm from Lone Tree, man. Come on, that's my hometown. We're all about trees in my hometown. So I just thought of that.
Oh, definitely. Lone Tree, Iowa. Most definitely.
Hey, I got one tree, baby. And I got a little bud over there on the other side. But I'm proud of Penny. He's doing a great job there in Tennessee State. Got better, a lot better this year. Get even better next year. And Jason's gonna have a great chance to have a really good team this first year in the SoCon. And both those guys worked really hard for their opportunities. And I'm really hopeful that BJ and Brooks and Randolph will get their shot someday here. And that's why you do it, to help other people. You want to help your players, and you want to help your assistant coaches do better in life. And so, yeah, I'm very proud of that. In fact, one of my other assistants from junior college, David Kiefer, is the head coach at Southeast Louisiana. So I really got 3 guys there.
Oh, yeah, Dave. Yeah, he's a cool guy, too. I like him.
Yeah, Dave worked for me in Northwest Florida. And so really there's 3 guys, over the last few years that have gotten their shot, and I hope to get more.
Most definitely. With Coach Forbes, I'm happy for you. Like I told you off the air, I'm happy for you, man. Look forward to seeing you at Georgia Tech this year. I'll stay neutral as I can because they won't throw me out. They won't throw me out.
It's all good. I get it.
But
I appreciate you having me on. I know you've been loyal to me and through my career, and as I've worked my way up, you've been there, and I appreciate it. And I just hope everybody stays safe. And we're in some tough times right now, but we're gonna get through them, and we just gotta stay vigilant.
Most definitely, Coach. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate the relationship. I'm glad that you will still do this at Wake Forest, because I will say, Coach, some coaches who I've had relationships with, they got bigger jobs. I don't hear from them anymore. I will say that.
I get that head coach amnesia, right?
Yeah.
I don't forget. I ain't never gonna forget.
So, yeah, thank you for not being there away, because I know some who have, and it's unfortunate, But I'm glad for those who still stay true and loyal all the way through, and know I have your back as well. Say, wait, you have my back.
All right, boss man, you have a good one, and look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
Hey, Coach, when you're in town recruiting, let me know. Shoot me a text, and I'll come see you, man. Let me know.
All right, I'm going to be down.
All right, Coach. Thank you as always, buddy.
All right, be good. See you.
All right.
You can't touch this. touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Hip hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip hop. Album is available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.